talk some sports, baby.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the second episode of Undisputed. I'm your host, Shahid with your co-hosts, Amar and Sani. And this week we're going to do a recap of last week, and players of last week, and weekly picks for next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so first thing on the list we got recap of last week. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through each team and do an analysis of how they did and their stats.
So first off, we have Ali Bakrow's team. He lost to Daniel 39-13, and he tied with Nishad 0-0. A notable player on Ali Bakrow's team is his star receiver, Nakil Momin. He had 11 receptions and no touchdowns. He had 1 sack and 3 tackles. This team, all around, they definitely could improve. They had their whole team there, and honestly, we had them at really high. I think they need to spread the ball out more, get more people involved. They're trying to play that two-man game, but LeBron and D-Wade need that support, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the problem with this team is their drop-off from the first pick to the rest of the players there.
Yeah. Okay, so second team we got is Daniel's team. They went 2-0. They beat Sani's team 25-6, and they beat Ali B's team 39-13. Notable players for Daniel's team was Zane. He had 10 catches, 3 receiving touchdowns, and a punt return. He had an amazing week. That's like one of the best stat lines you could put up as a receiver. And then Daniel had 7 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, and he completed 67% of his passes. That is insane. I didn't expect a week like this from Daniel Caradia, of all people. So yeah, I gotta give it up to Daniel's team. I mean, I kind of was backing them up in the first video, but I just didn't expect this.
Yeah, I really didn't expect this. You guys saw the last video. Daniel really showed up. He showed me up for sure. I really didn't expect this. And I think a turning point for them was when Moby had that one Moss on one of your players. Race, yeah. I saw that play and I was like, yeah, that's their go-to. Like everything else in between, they'll figure that out. And I saw Zane Meridio, also his second receiver. He juked out a whole team on one play, and I was like Daniel can't go wrong with these receivers, man.
Yeah. But don't buy into the hype train.
Yeah, I'm not really buying into the Daniel bandwagon just yet.
All right, next I have Aziz's team. So Aziz beat Ali 19-7, and he lost to Danish 19-6. A notable player on that team was our co-host Amar. Amar had a quite impressive week for a second-round pick. He put up 7 catches and 2 touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 catches and 2 touchdowns, and he played an all-around amazing game. Aziz's team played really well that first game. They made short throws happen, and that opened up the deep bomb, and it was working really well for them, and they found their groove in the first game. And I don't know what happened in the second game. That game they just looked all around frustrated. I mean, they started off the game, it was 6-6, and Aziz threw a pick, and then I don't know. Yeah, y'all were just really frustrated. I'm trying to run it all the way back because Aziz didn't even try catching up to him.
I think we just kind of got too one-dimensional in our second game. Yeah. Kind of kept forcing things, and that's definitely an improvement that we're gonna make next week and make sure we don't do the same mistake again.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so next team we got up is Sani's team. Yeah. They went 1-1. They lost to Daniel's team 6-25, and they beat Nishad's team 19-0. Notable players for Sani's team, it was Erman. He had 7 catches, a touchdown, 3 sacks, and interception. He had one of the best overall offensive and defensive games. I was really impressed with how Sani's first-round pick played. And then another notable player was Ehsan, who chimed in with 8 catches and 2 touchdowns. Overall, Sani's receivers are just super reliable, and he's really lucky to have two star receivers like that. And props to Sani for showing out, dude. You had a bad first game, but then you came back and you redeemed yourself. So good job.
Yeah, but on that, the first game, we started off we gave a hot punch. We started with the first score and everything, but we had 3 straight defensive stops, got them to 4th down, got them 2 punts. But on that last 4th down, we gave up a tip touchdown. And I feel like that really changed the momentum because they went for it on their own 10-yard line. I feel like if we had that stop, it had been another 6 points, and it could have been a completely different ball game. But we gave that up, and that's something we definitely. It's a simple mistake that we can fix later on.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Danish's team. So Danish lost to Zach's team 13-7, but he beat Aziz's team 19-6. A notable player in that game was definitely his first-round pick in Shahid Ali. He had 7 catches, a touchdown, and on the defensive side, he had 2 picks. So he definitely played out all around, and Danish really got. I mean, I know the first game he was really frustrated against Zach's team. They got a lot of pressure to him. I remember the first drive he threw 3 straight balls to the ground because he had no time. But I know he got the hang of it towards the second game. He started breaking the pocket against Aziz's team. He got outside. He brought out that West Coast style that he has, and that really opened up the whole game for him.
Yeah, against us, he just got out the pocket more, and he has short receivers, so he just played a short game. Those speedy receivers got those yards after the catch, and I think that's how they beat us. We weren't able to stop their short game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so next team we got up is Eli's team. They went 1-1. They lost their first game to our team 7-19, and then they won their second game 15-7 versus On the Run. And a notable player for Eli's team, surprisingly, was Sunil Lakhani. Even though all the crap that we gave him about being a second-round pick, he showed up with 8 catches, 2 touchdowns, and a solid effort on defense with 3 tackles. Yeah, dude, like you made us, you proved us wrong this week, and it's pretty good. Good job.
One thing I noticed with Ali's team is that Arbaz was taking a lot of attention up, and that's why Sunil got really open. I remember watching that last game against Zach's team when Ali played him. Nashid was like completely like buying into Arbaz's side, and that left Sunil Lakhani like one-on-one with one player. Mm-hmm. And as even though Sunil Lakhani is as slow or big he is, he's still one of the most experienced and one of the most reliable receivers in the league. So I mean, that's what opened up for them, and Ali saw that and took advantage right away. Yeah. So last for me, I have Zach's team. He beat Danish's team 13-7, and he lost to Ali 15-7. Some notable players in that was his star receiver Nashid Charania. Nashid is definitely. I mean, we expect this out of Nashid week in and week out. Like he's one of the best players in the league, if not the best. And I mean, at this point, it's just an expectation from him. He had 7 catches, 2 touchdowns, and 8 tackles and a pick. All around great game from Nashid, and he was playing super aggressive, and he helped out his newly QB in Alizakir.
Was Akib there this week or not?
Akib was not there.
So I think it was a pretty solid effort for a team that didn't have their second round pick.
Also, Ursha's injured.
Ursha's injured, and that's another really big key player.
Yeah, so I think their second and third round.
Yeah, so they played pretty well for a team that didn't have that many players show up. So, like we said, on paper, this team is really good. When it's a full healthy team, you never know what they can do.
And they don't have their 5th round pick in Ahel Hashim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And their last round pick he actually showed out really well. He had 3 sacks and a tackle. I mean, usually we don't expect that from late round picks, but he played really well. I guess he got pressure against Danish and Ali.
Yeah. Okay. And the last team we got for week 1 was Nishad's team. They went 0-1-1. They tied with Ali's team, and they lost 0-19 versus Sani's team. Some notable players were Alize Nkadiwal. He actually had a really, really good defensive week with 10 tackles and a sack, and then he also helped in on offense a little bit with 5 catches. And then Nabil Ali also had a good week defensively. He had 3 tackles, a sack, and a pick, and then he also had a good offensive week with 8 catches. Obviously, they had a better defensive week considering the team didn't score any points, and they kind of played how we expected them to play just by looking at their team on paper. There weren't really any real surprises other than how some of the players showed up on defense.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Nishad played as bad as I thought he would. But I think he could be a lot better if the receivers were there, and I honestly don't think he has the receiving core for the success he can have. And I think the change that he make is put Babur at receiver. And I understand Babur's the best blocker in the league and he should be a blocker, but for the receiving core they have, I think Bobber is the best receiver on their team.
Dude,
at this
Bobber,
point.
In that first game, did you see that one Moss catch that he had?
Yeah.
That was literally insane.
Bobber's been my receiver, and God, I would not have another big receiver on my team if it was like I'd pick him.
You just throw it to the left side of him or the right side of him. You can't get around him. Whoever's guarding him is gonna have trouble.
In his first round pick, Amin actually had 0 catches this week.
I mean, according to stats, I don't know if that's messed up, but that's what it says on here.
But
so
that's wild. How's your first round pick not get a catch?
Yeah.
All right. So the next segment we got is players of the week. So we're gonna start off with offensive player.
So offensive player of the week we gave it to Zane Meridia. Zane Meridia had Zane Meridia had 4 catches. 10 catches, 3 receiving touchdowns, and I believe he had a punt return touchdown.
Yeah.
That is insane for a second round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering I believe he was a first round pick, but that's still crazy. Even if it was a first round pick, that's 10 catches, 3 touchdowns, and a punt return touchdown.
Yeah.
So impressive, very impressive, especially with the QB you have.
Yeah, he's putting up first overall numbers, dude.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. He's showing out like no receiver did this week.
So next we got defensive player.
Defensive player of the week, I'm going to go with Ali B. He had 6 tackles and 2 interceptions. Like I said before in the last video, when he's playing safety, he's like a ball hawk. He gets all over the field. He was able to hold the first team, Nishad's team, to 0 points, and they couldn't really get anything done with him back there. So I think that and 6 tackles to go along with that, he was pulling flags too. So I think he gets my defensive player of the week.
I don't think there's any argument to that.
So next we got breakout player of the week, and my breakout for the week is Nabil Ali. He played for a team that didn't do well at all this week, but he showed up. He hustled. He was an all-around player this week with 8 receptions, 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. So he was all over the stat sheet, doing everything he could.
That's very impressive, especially coming from a lower round pick. I mean, you don't expect that much production, and especially considering his team's production, you don't expect a low round player to do that well.
Those numbers are higher than many first, second round, third picks. Those are first round, second round type numbers, which is pretty great.
For sure.
For a 6th round pick,
it's impressive.
It's really great numbers. All right, so the next segment we got our weekly picks, and as you can see, we have a bit of change in the settings, and it's because Sani was less accurate in his picks last week, so he has to do a bit of a punishment. Say the line.
Daniel is better than me.
Couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Can you say louder?
Yeah.
Daniel is better than me.
Better than you at what?
I'm reading what it says. I'm not saying anymore.
No, so close.
Okay. Alright, so the first set of games we got Alizakir versus Aziz's team.
For that game, I'm going to go with our team to beat Zach's team. I think even though Alizakir has his second round pick and Akib coming back, I still feel like we can pull it out as long as we play how we played our first game of week 1. If we just kind of stick to that and not get too one-dimensional, I think we can win that game.
I have Zach's team winning that game, actually. I think Akib coming back at QB, it gives Alizakir a chance to play receiver. He was actually #1 first round pick last year, and same with Nasha. There's 2 first-round picks right there. And Akib is a solid QB as himself. He proved himself in previous years in SAFL, and even though they don't have their 3rd-round pick, I still think they'll do perfectly fine. They've had a good blitz coming. Shahid, Radio, one of their later picks. He's been blitzing very well. Arman Ali, as we know, he's been blitzing very well. So I think that team, all in all, is going to be a very solid team when Akib comes back.
Okay, and the next game?
For the next game, we got Nishad versus Daniel.
Straight up, I just think Daniel's team is going to win this game. There's not really any argument or anything really to it.
Yeah, I think there's a question about that. I got Daniel's team winning that one too.
So next one, we got Sani's team versus Ali B's team.
I'm going to go with Sani's team. Just talent-wise, they're just much better than LEB's team.
So what, you don't think I'm good?
I literally said your team's gonna win.
Yeah, but you just said the talent on my team's good. You didn't say I was good.
That includes you, bro.
Okay, thank you.
I think you're talentless, but okay. So the next game we got Alili versus Danish.
For that game, I got Alili's team winning. Danish's team is really good based on like the team that you see on paper and the way that they performed in week 1. However, I do think that they are a beatable team, and Alili's team, where he has a good receiver in Arbaz and a receiver who showed us up in Sunil, who seems to be pretty reliable still. I think that they can get it done and beat Danish's team.
I actually have Danish's team winning that game. I think Danish's team is way better on paper, and Danish actually he showed up Aziz's team last week. I mean, I thought Aziz is probably one of the best, if not the best QB in the league. He has so much experience, and Danish showed that his skill and the talent on his team could easily take that over. He picked Aziz's defense apart, and his defense was clearly frustrating Aziz. So I don't think there's a question in how talented Danish's team is. They showed us up week 1, and I definitely think they're going to be Alili's team.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Danish on that one just because how speedy his team is and how quick they're gonna get to Alili. So the next thing we got Aziz's team versus Daniel's team.
I might be surprised, but I'm going to take Aziz's team, or our team, on this one. I know Daniel's team looks super impressive. They have so much talent, receivers, defense, everything. But there are like 1 or 2 teams in this league that I think that can beat Daniel's team, and I would have to go with us solely based on the experience that Aziz had. I mean, he's been playing for like 1,200 years now, so I feel like he's seen teams equivalent or even better than this, and I'm assuming that he's been able to pull off wins against those teams. So I do believe that we have the possibility of winning this game.
I do not agree with that. I think Daniel's team is very talented. Like I told y'all before, their defense is solid. Zayn Meradia and Sunil combined for 7 sacks last week, just them 2. And I mean, that blitz gets to you 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You gotta get that ball out. And I mean, I know Aziz is a great QB. He's been doing this for years and years. He knows how to get used to that. He's probably faced blitzes faster than this, but I think at this level, it's not about your experience, and like it gets more to the point of your speed, your athleticism, your skill. I don't think Aziz can stay in that pocket all day. As I recall, he didn't have a single rush attempt last week. He had 50-something throwing attempts, but I don't think that's going to cut it against Daniel's team. They have a solid middle. They have Moby back deep. The only place you can really attack is corners, and their corners are still mediocre to the point where you can't really expose them as much. So I think it's going to be a tough one. I mean, if y'all can prove me wrong, please do so. But I don't think I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, no one wants Daniel to lose more than you, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would trust me. I want to go against Daniel as much as I can.
Yeah.
But at this, like, the way his team performed last week, like, dude, it's hard. It's hard to go against it. So I definitely have Daniel's team winning.
I really think it's a toss-up too, but you know, I'm gonna be trying extra hard to back up my trash talk against Daniel. All right. For the next team, we got Lizkir's team versus Nishad's team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Zach's team on here again. I just don't see any competition. But me and Sani do both hope that like Nishad's team can find a way to actually like win a game, because it's like it sucks to like be the underdog in almost every single game. So like hopefully they can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely got Zach's team winning this game, but trust me, I was the one undermining Nishad's team all last week. I said Zaino was washed up. I said Amin wasn't worth the first round pick. But like, I really hope they can adjust. I really hope they can fix things. And I mean, like, even though I like trash talked them so much last week and like said all these things about them, like, I want them to get better, because I want like they have the ability to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they need to make adjustments, and I think they can be that team. You know,
Yeah.
I want them to be the underdogs that upset teams. You know. Nishad played way better than we expected. I mean, he had he played really well. Like, we didn't really expect that, but I mean, he just doesn't have the receiving targets to make those big plays, you know, like the one play touchdowns or whatever. So I feel like if they can adjust to that, I think they'll be good. At least I just hope they can fix things.
All right, for the next game we got Ali's team versus LB's team.
Okay, with this one, I'm going to go with LEB's team. I don't think the talent on either of these teams are way too different. I mean, LEB's team on paper is a little bit better. But I think Akil and LEB, my bad, will figure it out. I don't think Akil wants to lose more games. I think he wants to put his team in a good position when it comes playoff time. So I'm going to go with LEB's team on this one.
I don't know, man. I got LEB's team winning this game. I just think that, like even right now, LeBron can't carry the Lakers. They're playing like trash right now, you know. Akil can only do so much for his team. And I mean, he's got LEB, but even LEB, they can only do so much. Like, the talent that they have below that is just not enough. Like, and even LEB's team, his team is like, it's not as talented, but it's definitely more talented than LEB's team is by far. So I mean, I definitely have LEB winning this game. There's two athletic quarterbacks going at it. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, but I think it's definitely LEB who takes it away.
I'm gonna have to go with LEB's team here because I think LEB's team has that solid captain and a solid first round pick, but after that, I don't think there's much there. But with LEB's team, they do have that good second round pick in Sunil. So I think that's where LEB's team beats LEB. Alright, for the last game, we got Sani's team versus Danish's team.
I'm going to go with Sani's team to win this game. I think just like skill-wise, like they both teams have really, really good skill players. And I think it'll be a shootout and it'll be a really good game to watch. But I think in the end, I think Sani's team will be able to pull it off.
Yeah, one thing about our team compared to their team is just like people don't really look at this, but we have huge players. Like me, Ihsan, Cass, Race, all of us.
Yeah, dude, Erman's so tall.
I mean, Erman counts out, but other than that, everybody, like, we have huge players. I just don't think they can match up against us.
Yeah. Alright, that's all for weekly picks.
Yeah. This is Sani Karadia, your host from Undisputed. I have Zayn Maradia here, receiver from Maroon team. I don't know how to pronounce their name. I'm going to have a press conference with you. So I knew you were going to be a steal of the year. You're actually my #1 steal this year. But you played incredibly this week. How do you feel about that performance?
Just our whole team, we definitely clicked out. Week 1, we were expecting this just to be like practice week, get to know how all of us play with each other. But just right off the bat, we all clicked together. Everyone doubted my quarterback, Daniel, but
I did.
he came, you were one of them. You were one of them. But he definitely came out. He performed exceptionally well. Made a few mistakes, and then everyone else too. It goes from quarterback to the line to receivers, defense, everything. It was just clicking perfectly. As a team, we're definitely in sync, and we really look forward to the upcoming weeks.
Awesome. Also, you got a punt return touchdown this week. We don't see many of those. How many more of those do you see coming?
Hopefully many more. Just punt it my way, and I guess we'll see.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for taking the time, Zane. I appreciate it. All right. So next up, we got weekly picks for the girls. So first up, we got Inch's team versus the Reese's team, and I got Inch's team winning that game. And then the next game, we have Q's team versus Rondo's team, and I have Q's team winning that game. And next game, I got Q's team versus beating Arisa's team again. And then the last game, we have Inch's team versus Rondo's team, and I have Rondo winning that game.
And then one interesting thing that we saw the Saturday night when the girls were scrimmaging, just like from the side, we saw Sani's MVP pick, Nafia, I don't know how to say her name, but we saw her just like when they were just scrimmaging, she was like running all over everyone. Like she scored like 2 or 3 touchdowns continuously. Like I was just looking over and she had the ball in her hand and she was just running for touchdowns. So, Sani actually might have gotten that pick right, and it's definitely something to be excited about to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely jumping on that bandwagon. You know, she was my original MVP pick too. And like I literally looked over for like 5 minutes because that's how long I got a break for. And within those 5 minutes, I just saw 2 deep ball touchdowns go to her, and like I was like damn, like she's actually gonna win this MVP award her rookie season.
Yeah. And make sure you come support and come watch the girls. Like obviously they would love to have people come, like more people come watch and stuff like that, and just like cheer them on.
Alright, so now we're reaching the end of our video, unfortunately. Just some last couple things to wrap up about. Make sure you get your waivers in, you get your fees in, and make sure we're taking stats honestly and accurately, like actually pay attention in the game. Like we've already had like multiple complaints about like missing stats, and like I can back them up on that. Like there's some problems that I've seen. And make note that there is a location change, that we are playing at McAllister Park now. The address is in the Facebook group. And yeah, I think that's about it. That concludes our video. Catch y'all next week.